She woke up in a stranger's bed with no memory of how she got there, but what shattered her more was the cold. Gorgeous CEO standing at the edge of the room, eyes blazing with a hunger that screamed he remembered every second of the night. That changed everything. And the contract he tossed in her lap said they were married. Subscribe now to uncover the dark secrets, hidden desires, and twisted fate that began with one unforgettable night. Neither of them ever meant to happen. ... Rain lashed the windows that night in New York City, and beneath the hum of storm and traffic, a woman named Aria Lane awoke tangled in silk sheets, her heart hammering against her ribs as confusion gripped her. The room was sleek, cold, masculine, and utterly unfamiliar. And the only thing more shocking than her location was the impossibly handsome man standing by the window. Shirtless and brooding, staring at her like she was both a puzzle and a possession. He didn't say a word at first, just lit a cigarette with hands that trembled almost imperceptibly. Then exhaled smoke with a rasped voice that sent chills down her spine. "You don't remember me, do you?" And before she could respond, he tossed a document onto the bed. A legal contract that declared her Aria Lane Winters, wife of Cassian Winters, billionaire CEO of Winters Corporation, married for 3 years, with her signature inked at the bottom in unmistakable handwriting. Her denial shattered the silence, insisting this was some cruel joke, some elaborate scheme. But Cassian only stared harder, jaw clenched, knuckles white, as if restraining something feral. And when he finally moved, it was toward her with slow, deliberate steps like a predator stalking prey. 3 years, he whispered, voice edged in something raw and bitter. And not once did you remember that night. Until now, his words confused her more, but then flashes of memory struck like lightning, flashes of a drunken gala, a hotel room key, laughter and lips and heat, and then darkness. She had blocked it out, or maybe fate had hidden it for a reason. Because Cassian wasn't just any man, he was the man she unknowingly married in a whirlwind Vegas wedding 3 years ago. A marriage she forgot the moment she ran from the wreckage of a scandal that ruined her career as a promising architect and nearly destroyed his own business reputation. But now, suddenly, she was back in his orbit because of a forced merger between her startup and his empire. And that night, the night that reignited everything, wasn't supposed to happen again. But it did, and Cassian, now aware that she still stirred something dangerous inside him, decided he wouldn't let her run again. He made her an offer 3 months as his real wife. No escape, no refusals, and if at the end she still wanted out, he'd let her go with a divorce and half his share strapped, desperate. And strangely haunted by the shadows in his eyes, she agreed, thinking she could play along until freedom. But the mansion she moved into whispered secrets, and the staff looked at her with odd reverence, as if she'd once been beloved there. Even more terrifying, she began to fall into rhythm with Cassian, cooking together at midnight, silent coffee mornings, his rare smiles. The way he touched her like she was glass and wildfire at once, till she discovered the twist. Cassian had been in love with her since before Vegas, since she presented a design at a charity event he anonymously sponsored, and their one-night stand hadn't been chance, it had been fate's cruel trick or maybe his plan all along. But the love had turned obsessive, dangerous even, especially when she found a hidden room in the mansion filled with sketches of her face, hundreds of photos of her over the years. Even one of her as a teenager at an exhibition. She confronted him, furious, terrified, betrayed, only for him to break down, in a way that no CEO ever should. Revealing that his obsession wasn't about control, but survival. "I lost everything once, Aria. You were the only thing I couldn't lose again." She should have left, should have run, but her heart was torn between horror and heartbreak. Because beneath the obsession was a man whose loneliness mirrored her own, and when danger arrived, in the form of Cassian's ex-fiancée, a powerful heiress named Celine, who had been promised the Winters fortune and wouldn't let Aria destroy her future. Aria was nearly killed in a staged car crash. Cassian found her broken and bloodied, and something inside him shattered beyond repair, unleashing a wrath that tore through Celine's empire in days, leaving nothing but financial ruin and scandal. As Arya healed, Cassian never left her side, not once, sleeping in the hospital chair, holding her hand like it tethered him to sanity. And when she finally opened her eyes again, it was to a man stripped of pride, stripped of power, just a man, begging her to stay not as a contract, not as an obsession, but as the only woman who ever made him feel human. Tears in her eyes, heart raw, Arya whispered yes, not because she had to, but because somehow in all the twisted chaos she had fallen in love to not with the CEO, not with the billionaire, but with the broken boy who waited 3 years for her to come home. And this time, when they made love, it wasn't out of accident or amnesia, it was a promise, a rebirth. And when he kissed her scars and called them beautiful, she knew that night the first time they met in bed hadn't been the beginning of a mistake, but the start of a love written in the stars, scribbled in obsession, sealed by fate. Subscribe now for more twisted billionaire romances where love and madness walk hand in hand. ***.